Okay, let's do that guy there. Okay, I'm doing both of these because they have similarities. They were both used as candle holders. They are both wartime utility from the 1940s. Do you see the red wax in there from where it was used as a candle holder? This little Toby jug still has the candle, and it was only a candle holder. It wasn't big enough for anything else. And on the bottom it says Mary Carter, October 1941, ATS. ATS stands for the Auxiliary Territorial Service, and it was a women's service during World War II. And it's a little bit of an irony that she was using Churchill. Let me show you why on the computer. Okay, I'll read it out. The Auxiliary Territorial Service. In the military, all three services were open for women to join, the Army, Air Force and Navy. Women were also appointed as air raid wardens. In the Army, women joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, ATS. Like soldiers, they wore a khaki uniform. The recruiting posters were glamorous. Some were considered too glamorous by Winston Churchill, and many young ladies joined the ATS because they believed they would lead a life of glamour. They were to be disappointed. They acted as drivers, worked in mess halls where many had to peel potatoes, acted as cleaners and worked on anti-aircraft guns. But an order by Winston Churchill forbade ATS ladies from actually firing an AA gun, as he felt they would not be able to cope with the knowledge that they might have shot down and killed young German men. His attitude was odd, as the ATS ladies were allowed to track a plane, fuse the shells, and be there when the firing cord was pulled. By July 1942, the ATS had 217,000 women in it. As the war dragged on, women in the ATS were allowed to do more exciting jobs, such as become welders, unheard of in Civvy Street, carpenters, electricians, etc. The recruiting poster for the ATS banned by Churchill. It was considered too glamorous. So to get back to this little guy, Mary Carter would, if she's still alive, would be in her 90s or 100. And its wartime utility. Look at the size of that cigar to his hand. Here it is, it's that fella there. The sideburns, the black has come off, but they were there. And it just says potteries unknown circa 1940 to 1950. In other words, the war years and just after. See, in the Blitz, where they had the blackout, you were not allowed to show lights, and you certainly couldn't have bright lights, and anyway the power was off more than it was on. So candle holders were very important, and the use of Churchill, well, it was all very patriotic, wasn't it? Nothing there, just the word England. But again, it's wartime utility. It's very matte. He's in the cap of the first. No, that's not the First Lord of the Admiralty, which was a position he held. That is not the First Lord of the Admiralty. Let's look him up. There we go. Avon Ware, 1941. That's him, all right. embossed England on the base, a minimum of facial colouring on an ochre earthenware body and a king-size cigar. The model has given Churchill a gold-braided and splendidly badged cap of an Admiral of the Royal Navy. The handle simulates a rope. Yes, indeed it does. An Admiral in the Royal Navy. Okay. Circa 1941. Here's one that ended recently on eBay. You notice it does not have the red lips that mine does. So it looks much more like the one in the Churchilliana book. And then if we look at the bottom, it has the Avon Ware stamp as well as the impressed England. Looking closely at this Avon Ware mark, made in Avon Ware, England. Now I have a book of marks which says that this mark, made in Avon Ware, England, was a printed mark made from 1947 onwards. This book was published in 1965. So in 1965 they were still using the mark. So from 1947 to 1965 at least, or maybe beyond 1965, but not before 1947. So I'm wondering if these character jugs with the undecorated lips, with the no red lips, and with the Avon Ware mark were made after World War II. And the ones that are not actually marked Avon Ware and have the red lips are the World War II production models. Just a guess.